Welcome to Infinite Novel. Subscribe for more epic stories. All rights to original creators. It's for a good cause, I swear.
Chapter 11 Disclaimer: I do not own Naruto. Note, because of some confusion, let me clarify that yes, Sasuke did fight Lee in canon before the exam started, but what Sasuke meant about Gaara was wondering how he managed to not kill anyone in the prelims so he could face him in the actual final portion. This was, of course, because Guy stepped in when Gaara was trying to kill him. Another point of contention was Gaara deciding the people of Konoha were saner than the people of Suna. That's not to say they necessarily are, I highly doubt it, in fact, but they've been pretty nice to Gaara so far while the people in Suna keep trying to assassinate him despite the fact they live in a desert and he has automatic sand armor. Not to mention the whole let's treat the guy who could kill us all like crap because we think he's going to snap mentality that the people of Konoha had towards Naruto, when God knows it would make more sense to try and persuade them not to hate them, so if they did snap and start killing people, they would be less likely to kill them. I've got to go to the bathroom, Naruto announced once they had been in the forest for about an hour. Later. Wait, I suggest we come up with a code word first, Sasuke said. In case someone tries to impersonate you. Naruto made a face. You just want to try and trick me with one of those stupid epic poems again, don't you? Stupid epic poems? Sakura repeated incredulously. It was only 5 or 6 lines. Well, it seemed longer, Naruto said defensively. And someone might be spying on us, so there's no point. Then what do you suggest we do? Sasuke asked sarcastically. Ask you something only you would know? Actually, all things considered, that would probably be the best plan, Sakura mused. It wouldn't even have to be personal, just recent. We do have an advantage after all. I'm glad we've worked that out, Naruto said, heading for the bushes. Again, later. So do you think we'll run into that snake pedophile? Sakura asked conversationally while they waited. Sasuke sighed. I really wish you wouldn't call him that. And I really wish you hadn't run off with him, Sakura countered. But you know what they say, you can't always get what you want. When are you and Naruto going to drop the whole Sasuke had an affair with Orochimaru thing? Sasuke demanded. Sakura raised an eyebrow. That depends. Was that an admission? What? No, Sasuke protested. So you're still in denial then, Sakura concluded. I'm not in denial. Sasuke insisted. He paused. Although I do realize that in and of itself constitutes as a denial. Sakura laughed. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I'll drop it when you drop the whole Sakura's useless thing. I would love to drop that, I really would, Sasuke said innocently. And I will. The minute you actually do something. Swiftly, Sakura pulled out a kunai. I can do something right here if you'd like, she mock-threatened. Sakura-chan, there's really no need to be so violent, is there? Naruto asked, stepping out of the bushes. Especially towards our teammate during the exam? He'll be fine, Sakura said dismissively. How long did it dash? Wait, I'll handle this, Sasuke interrupted. Tell me about our first kiss. Naruto turned red. Sasuke, don't try to trick me. When was our first kiss? Honestly, you know we never did. Wrong answer, Sasuke said smoothly, throwing a shuriken at the boy he had decided wasn't his teammate. The day we graduated we kissed. Technically. Oh, right, Sakura remembered. I gave Naruto a concussion. Very clever of you to figure it out, not Naruto said, turning back into his real form. Not really, Sasuke said easily, watching as Sakura crept around behind their would-be attacker. You're just really bad at impersonating people. Since it was an embarrassing moment for us both, I could easily see Naruto denying the event ever happened, but you didn't even try. The boy began before feeling a tap on his shoulder. Automatically, he turned around in time to see Sakura's fist flying towards his face. Sakura reached down to check their unconscious opponent for a scroll. He doesn't have one, she reported after her search was complete. He probably left it with his teammates while he played infiltration. Smart move, Sasuke remarked. Yeah, Sakura agreed. And guess who finally did something? Sasuke snorted. Took you long enough. Hey guys, I'm back, Naruto announced. Hi Naruto, how many times have I kicked your ass? Sasuke asked. Oh, that so didn't count. Naruto replied hotly. You were using your drag form. My drag form? Sasuke repeated uncertainly. Yeah, Naruto nodded. You know, the one you got from the Hiki. That was my curse seal form. You could even call it my demon form if you wanted to. It is not a drag form, Sasuke said firmly. Are you sure? Naruto asked innocently. Because I could have sworn I saw lipstick. That's him all right, Sakura giggled. So, Naruto, what would you have said if we asked about the first time you and Sasuke kissed? Naruto turned red. That never happened. Really? Because I seem to remember Sakura began. Never happened. Naruto cried out, sounding almost desperate. Sakura shook her head in amusement. Alright. Suddenly they were assailed by projectile weapons in the form of leaves. Oh, for the love of, we just took out someone, Naruto complained as he took cover. Oh, don't even start, you weren't even there. Sakura snapped as she headed off in a different direction to do the same. You guys just play around over there. I'll take care of them myself, the ninja in the middle said. Sasuke sought out the teammate closest to him, Sakura, once the attack was over. What did I tell you right before ditching you? Thank you, Sakura said softly. Okay, now 4-Sasuke started to say. Not so fast, Sakura cut in. That was vague enough it could have meant anything, so answer me this, who did you attack the summit to get at? Danzo, Sasuke practically growled. Hey guys, Naruto said cheerfully as he ran up to them. What did you tell Tsunade-sama after your godfather died? Sakura asked him. Naruto gave her a puzzled look. Jiraiya's not dead. Wrong answer, Sakura told him flatly. So you figured it out, fake Naruto number 2 shrugged as he melted back into his current form. That won't be enough to save you. Eat this, you stupid snake. Naruto shouted out from a little ways away from them. Raise Nan. There goes a giant snake, I'm sure, Sakura noted. We're both after a scroll, right? You have an earth scroll and I have a heaven one, the imposter said, lifting the scroll to his lips. Wait, Sasuke said suddenly. I know you. You're Orochimaru of the Sunin. Orochimaru paused and smirked. Very impressive, Sasuke-kun. Don't call Sasuke that, you pedophile, Sakura said angrily. So not the time, Sasuke told her. I am not a pedophile, Orochimaru insisted, sounding offended. Why do people keep saying that? Oh, I don't know, maybe it's your tendency to seek out young boys, give them a hickey, and then take them to live with you? Sakura suggested sarcastically. They aren't hickeys, they're seals and I'm interested in their powers and bloodlines, not their bodies, Orochimaru hissed. Well, that's not quite true, but I'm not out to molest them. You give them the seals via sucking on their neck, Sakura pointed out. At Orochimaru's startled look, she explained, we know Anko. Orochimaru, Sasuke growled, drawing attention back to him. You killed Dash. Hey guys, I'm back. Again, Naruto informed them, bounding up to them. Timing, Naruto, God we've talked about this, Sasuke complained. When someone's in the middle of a dramatic moment, don't interrupt unless you're going to add to the drama or if they're evil and really pissing you off. Sorry, Naruto apologized. I can go back and wait until you're done if you want. Sasuke gave a put-upon sigh. Don't bother now that you're here. Just keep quiet and let me do this, okay? Okay, Naruto said agreeably. Just try and keep the sexual tension to a minimum, okay? Sasuke twitched and opened his mouth to say something about how he and Orochimaru didn't have any sexual tension when he stopped suddenly and smirked. Why? He asked instead. Jealous? Bastard, Naruto accused. Not an answer, Sasuke pointed out. If you guys don't hurry this up then I'm going to tell Kiba about this, Sakura threatened. Hell, I might do that anyway. Paling at the thought of telling the one guy who persisted in believing that they were secretly in love about their current conversation, both boys abruptly stopped arguing. Sasuke cleared his throat and turned back to Orochimaru who was just staring at them in disbelief. Clearly, he didn't get ignored by pre-teens who knew who he was very often. My name, he said dramatically, is Uchiha Sasuke. You killed my family. Prepare to die. I did not. Orochimaru burst out unexpectedly. Pardon? Sasuke asked. I did not kill the Uchiha. I haven't killed an Uchiha in years, Orochimaru claimed. My family died years ago, Sasuke reminded him. But I didn't do it. Why doesn't anyone ever believe me? Orochimaru demanded. Possibly because you said what's this? Another Uchiha? I was so afraid that I had managed to kill all of them so this boy would be my only option as a host, but now I see that there is a spare. How wonderful. This is getting a little crowded, so I'll take my leave now, but never forget, I, Orochimaru of the Sunin, will be back to steal your body, mark my words, Naruto told him helpfully. I guess he could have managed a password after all, Sakura murmured to herself. Ah well, that still carries the risk of being overheard. That wasn't me. I was nowhere near Konoha that night, Orochimaru insisted. There's a large crowd of witnesses that say otherwise, Sasuke said flatly. They showed up to see what? Your brother and I alone amongst the corpses? How do you know he didn't do it? Orochimaru challenged. Sasuke laughed bitterly. What, you think Itachi killed everyone? I'm sure next you'll say he was ordered to do so because, let's see, they were planning a coup. I don't know what happened because I was not there, Orochimaru said, clearly getting frustrated. I was framed. Why would anyone frame you? Sasuke asked, sounding skeptical. I don't know, but I do not appreciate being known as the one to wipe out such a valuable bloodline, Orochimaru announced. Does that mean you're after either my body or my brother's? Sasuke demanded. Orochimaru tilted his head and smiled. Now that you mention it, yes, I see, Sasuke said staring Orochimaru straight in the eye. Let me tell you what I think of your little proposal, he said slowly as he activated his Mangekyo Sharingan. Tsukuyomi. In less than 5 seconds, Orochimaru crumpled to the ground. Did you really just beat him? Sakura asked dubiously. I did indeed, Sasuke sounded smug as he quickly cast the jutsu to counteract the Mangekyo's corrosive tendencies. Total cop-out, Naruto complained. To be fair, Sasuke admitted, he probably didn't have any experience with the Sharingan if Madara is still pretending not to exist and definitely wouldn't expect me to have the Mangekyo Sharingan. From what I can tell, this is how Itachi beat Orochimaru when he went after him before leaving Akatsuki. Should we face him again, it will not be so easy. Sweet, he has a heaven scroll. Naruto cheered, picking the aforementioned item up. Give that to me, you'll just lose it, Sasuke insisted, snatching the scroll from Naruto. Naruto glared at him. You suck. Sasuke was about to reply when Sakura forestalled another argument with a simple sing-song. Why, Kiba? Do you think we should contact someone and let them know? She asked seriously. Sasuke shrugged. Why should we? They figured it out before and they can figure it out again. Besides, he should be out for a while. And we really don't want to risk getting disqualified for contacting them. Looking reluctant, Sakura nonetheless agreed to keep moving. So, Naruto said once that was settled. What did you do to him anyway? He gets to live through the time Ino and Sakura managed to drag me along with them on a shopping expedition for 72 hours straight, Sasuke said grimly. It wasn't that bad. Sakura protested. Naruto shuddered, ignoring her. You're evil, I know. So which of the genin did you molest this time? Kakashi questioned his girlfriend over lunch. It wasn't Naruto again, was it? Because Minato-sensei's kind of getting concerned about that. I do not molest them, Anko insisted. Kakashi simply waited. It might have been the dog boy, she grudgingly admitted. But in my defense, he was being an idiot. I really hope that's covered by the waiver, Kakashi said. Anko shrugged. If these kids are agreeing to die then I'm sure they won't put up too much of a fuss about what some might call being overly forward. Or molestation, Kakashi translated. Anko ignored him. Besides, that Nara boy told the dog boy that he would have to actually read the waiver in order to see if he could sue, and dog boy decided he'd rather just make Naruto help him through his issues later. She scoffed, issues. Please. A couple more years and he'll be begging for someone to lick him. Someone who really shouldn't be you as you're twice his age and my fiancé, Kakashi pointed out. Don't worry, Anko assured him. I have no interests in dogs. Kakashi gave her a wounded look. Oh, come off it. Dog summons are different, Anko told him. She threw the last of her dango sticks at the same tree where she'd thrown all the others. Perfect leaf pattern, she beamed. How long did it take you to learn how to do that? Kakashi wondered. Anko shrugged. A couple of weeks. When I was younger I went through a period where I refused to eat anything but dango, and since I practiced every time I ate it, I got really good, really fast. Kind of like Naruto and his ramen obsession, Kakashi noted. Yeah, but he seemed to tone it down quite a bit when he turned 8, Anko mused. I always thought that was kind of strange. Well, trauma can do strange things, Kakashi offered lamely. Big trouble, Anko-sama, one of the Chuyunin examiners announced as he appeared on the scene with a poof of smoke. Mizuku? Anko asked. What happened? Bodies, 3 of them. And they're weird, Mizuku told her. Weird how? Anko demanded. Maybe you'd better come see for yourself, Mizuku said hesitantly. I'll come, too, Kakashi said immediately. Making their way to the site where the bodies had been discovered, they saw several of the examiners gathered around the corpses. After examining their papers and personal items, they seem to be the hidden grass shinobi who were entered in this exam, but as you can see, they have no faces. They are blank, as if they were melted off, Katetsu explained. Anko looked horrified. Show me the pictures of these 3 people. The Chuyunin scrambled to do as she requested. Are you okay? Kakashi asked her quietly. He's back, Anko replied just as quietly. The last time I saw him he had just wiped out the Uchiha and was vowing to steal the body of either an 8-year-old kid or a 13-year-old one. How could I possibly be okay? My mask had a feeling this would happen, Kakashi said, looking deadly serious. Of course, it seemed far-fetched, so I really couldn't tell anybody. Your mask, Anko repeated. That's what I said, Kakashi confirmed. What, is it psychic now? She asked incredulously. I don't know, do you want me to ask it? Kakashi asked dryly. It either won't answer so it won't do any good, or it will and I might need to take Minato-sensei up on that long-standing offer of therapy. Why haven't you if he's so concerned? Anko wondered. Well, there's no point, is it? He replied rhetorically. We can't talk about anything confidential, and that's where half of our Chapter 12 Disclaimer, I do not own Naruto. Note, for those people who were concerned that Kakashi's mask was psychic, yes, it was a reference to my other story, but it's not a running one. He just said that when he was trying to calm Anko down so she could deal better with the situation. Hey, since you can summon people, why have we only seen this used during the exam? Naruto wondered once they were successfully back at the tower. I mean, I suppose my dad does something sort of similar with his special kunao, but still, you'd think something that useful would be utilized more. What, you mean like why can't you have a summoning contract with a person? Sakura asked. At Naruto's nod, she replied probably because unlike summons, people don't want to have to drop everything and bail you out of a battle. A better question is why there's even an Oto since Orochimaru didn't get kicked out of his little criminal club. Naruto shrugged. Clearly he likes the idea of ruling a village. Konan and Nagato both run one, and even if it's not exactly a village from what I can tell, it might benefit the Akatsuki anyway. Besides, they've never come across as a very tight-knit group anyway. Let's just hurry this up, Sasuke said, opening both scrolls then tossing them away. Hey guys, long time no see, Irika greeted them as he appeared in a poof of smoke. Let's see, you finished the exam. Irika trailed off as he glanced at his watch. In 6 hours? No one finishes the exam in 6 hours. They did, Sasuke said, pointing to the Sand siblings who were talking to their own summoned Chuyunin and apparently not evil Mizuki. I suppose, Irika said slowly. Still, congratulations. Not only did you make it past the second round of the exams on your first try, but you did it ridiculously fast as well. The test doesn't end for another 4 days, so you'll need to report back here then to receive instructions about the third and final exam and compete preliminary matches if too many teams pass. You're lucky that you finished so quickly, as you'll be in top form while everyone else is worn out from their time in the forest. If they wanted time to recuperate, they shouldn't have dawdled, Naruto said decisively. I'm not sure them dawdling is the reason they're taking so long, Iruka told him. So can just go? Sakura asked. Almost, Iruka said. The reason I was called here was to help you to understand the Chuunin motto, written by the Sandaime Hokage himself. The Chuunin motto, Sakura asked politely. If you lack heaven, seek wisdom, be prepared. Gain knowledge and prepare yourself for the missions. If you lack earth, run in the fields, seek advantages, Iruka recited. These rules will guide a person's extremes. Do you guys know what that means? If we say no, do we still pass? Naruto asked. Iruka nodded. Yes. But tell me anyway. You need to be well versed in mind and body, and so if you're weak in one of the areas, then you need to work to improve yourself so your missions will go smoother, Sakura explained. Very good, Sakura, Iruka praised. So remember, you need to come back here in 4 days. And be careful, you know I worry about you guys. You can worry all you like, Sasuke told him. But you'll see how capable you are when we wipe the floor with everybody and become Chuunin. Looking rather sentimental, Iruka smiled at them. I'll hold you to that. Victory is ours, Kiba shouted, running into the tower, his 2 teammates trailing along behind him. Kiba, Sakura asked, surprised. How did you guys finish so quickly? How did you? Shino countered. We got lucky and ran into someone who had the scroll we needed right away, Sakura replied. So did we, Hinata informed them. Well, in a way. We found it in a clearing where there was a lot of blood and body parts everywhere. You didn't check to see if there were any other scrolls to help eliminate the competition? Kankuro asked his sister. I was going to, she insisted. But then the crazy Konoha Genin showed up and I forgot about it. So I guess you're with me tonight, Kiba told Sasuke. Sasuke blinked. Do tell me how you came to that conclusion. My parents told my sister and I that under no circumstances less dire than an outright invasion or the death of the Hokage were we to disturb them on their anniversary today, so my sister's having dinner with your brother. I thought I'd be busy with the test, but since I'm not, I'm going to tag along. I guess that would make you the 4th wheel, Kiba smirked. Someone up there really hates me, don't they? Sasuke asked rhetorically. Not nearly as much as they should, though, Sakura pointed out. What? Sasuke's hanging out with Kiba tonight? No fair, Naruto complained. I want to do something. Hey, I know. Gaara, do you want to have dinner at my house tonight? Gaara just blinked at the unexpected invite. Are you sure that's the best idea? Temari spoke up. Oh, you're invited too, Naruto assured her. And, the evil puppet guy can come too, I suppose. I wouldn't want to be rude, after all. No, I'm sure you wouldn't, Kankuro muttered. But no puppets, Naruto warned. If you bring them, I simply cannot guarantee they'll survive the night. You know, if nothing else, Gaara's never threatened to kill my puppets before, Kankuro whispered to Temari. No, but isn't threatening to kill us enough, she whispered back. We'll have to ask our sensei Temari began. We'll be there, Gaara cut her off. Great, Naruto said enthusiastically. My father's the Hokage, as you know, so it shouldn't be that difficult to find our address. It'll be fun. And diplomatic. My parents don't really expect me back today, so I'm tagging along with you, Sakura informed Naruto. I'd go with Sasuke, except I wouldn't want to be a 5th wheel nor be a witness when Sasuke inevitably snaps and tries to kill Kiba. My dad's not too sure of you anyway, so that would be great, Naruto said easily. Sakura raised her eyebrows. He's not sure of me? Why not? It's nothing personal, Naruto assured her. It's just that of our team, there's me, who he's known for 12 years, Kakashi who he's been training since before I was even born, Sasuke who he didn't really know who he was until 4 years ago but has spent a great deal of time with since Obito got custody, and you. He's just kind of overprotective. I see, Sakura said. And if nothing else, this will be an interesting dinner. Far better than trying to figure out the best way to say I faced down a pedophile who was trying to possess my teammate. Is it true? Itachi demanded the minute he was alone with Kakashi. Is what true? Kakashi asked automatically. Orochimaru's really in custody? And he really faced Sasuke? Itachi clarified. Kakashi nodded. The note Sasuke left declaring Orochimaru's comatose state to be the after effect of his Tsukuyomi seemed to indicate that, but I haven't gotten a chance to ask him about it yet. Sasuke faced down Orochimaru and he's still alive. Itachi shook his head in disbelief. He even technically won. I never thought I would say this, but thank God for the Mangekyo Sharingan. How did you even hear about that so fast? Anyway, Kakashi inquired. Itachi gave him a look that implied that was a very stupid question. Confirmation of Orochimaru's capture can't be all you wanted to ask me about, Kakashi realized. If nothing else, you could ask Sasuke about it and you seem to like him more than me. True, Itachi replied to both points. But he spoke to Orochimaru. He had to have. I only met him the once, but he seemed very garrulous. And this is a problem because... Kakashi asked, before realization struck him. You're worried that he'll tell Sasuke the truth about the massacre. Can you blame me? Itachi asked rhetorically. By all rights, I shouldn't even be here. That kind of mission was one that could never be admitted to and a scapegoat was needed. I knew that. If Orochimaru was willing to take responsibility, or credit, most likely, in the world of the missing nin, back then why do you think he would suddenly confess now? Kakashi asked. I'll admit, I could never figure out why Orochimaru was in the village in the first place or how he knew what was happening or if he knew or just happened to be passing by and saw an opportunity. Either way, he must have had his reasons. Itachi nodded. I know, and I'm not saying he would claim innocence to the world, but if he entered the exam then clearly he's chosen to go after Sasuke. That makes sense as he's just a genin, no matter how exceptional, and you're a jounin who used to be an Umbu, Kakashi pointed out. Why did Hokage-sama take me out of Umbu after that? Itachi asked. Kakashi shrugged. I suppose Minato-sensei had decided you'd sacrificed enough. Itachi merely shook his head to that. If Orochimaru can convince Sasuke of the truth or at the very least plant the seeds of doubt in his mind, he could turn him against Konoha, and if he gives him a curse seal, it will mess with his mind and could convince him to leave. We don't know that Orochimaru knew that it was ordered or about the plan, Kakashi reasoned. No, but finding out the truth about me. Itachi trailed off. It might be enough. You don't want him to hate you. As expected, Itachi didn't respond. Even if Sasuke does at some point get a curse seal, he won't just jump ship that easily. And it was even true if Sasuke hadn't defected until after running into his older brother again, ironically trying to make sure he'd stay safe in Konoha, getting his ass kicked, and lying comatose for weeks after experiencing a particularly vicious Tsukuyomi. I wouldn't call finding out that the near-complete annihilation of his entire clan wasn't an impulsive act of a madman counts as so easily, Itachi countered. Even if Sasuke were to realize the truth, he's spent too many years hating Orochimaru to go to him now. And Sasuke really hates Orochimaru, so much that I'm starting to worry. Why would he listen to anything he had to say? Orochimaru has no proof one way or another, and unless Sasuke secretly thinks you go around killing people for the hell of it, he has no reason to believe that of you. And trust me, given Sasuke's extremely strong revenge tendencies, I think you'd know if he secretly hated you. You're right, Itachi said, looking, only very slightly, but given who it was, the fact that it was discernible at all was huge, relieved. Thank you. Kakashi wondered briefly why Itachi had chosen to have that conversation with him of all people, but then again, considering his only other options were the Hokage who had ordered him to do it in the first place or Jiraiya, maybe it wasn't too surprising. As Gaara had decreed, the Sand siblings arrived at Naruto's house promptly at 6:30. Sakura was already there, having simply followed her friend home to commence operation, convinced the Hokage I'm at least as sane as the rest of the team and not useless no matter what Sasuke says. To their slight surprise, Beiki was with them. Clearly he wanted to make sure the Kazekage kids didn't spill anything classified to the Hokage, never mind if they let anything slip about their possible involvement in the invasion that might not even happen. Ah, you must be Naruto's new friend Sensei, Minato greeted him. I saw your profile earlier, Beiki, right? Beiki nodded. Indeed, Hokage-sama. We were going to have calamari, but Naruto insisted that after such a harrowing experience as the second exam, he simply had to have ramen, Minato explained, leading the way to the dining room. After hearing that he faced down with one of our most dangerous missing nin, I decided he deserved it. I hope you don't mind. Ramen's fine, Temari informed him. It isn't very popular in Suna, so we don't get a chance to eat it very often. Naruto, who was about to start eating, dropped his chopsticks and stared in open-mouthed horror at her. Breathe, Naruto, Sakura advised. No, ramen, Naruto asked weakly. Is he really that obsessed with it? Kankuro asked incredulously. Yes, Sakura and Minato said simultaneously. He would sell his soul for a bowl of ramen, Sakura declared. Or at least rent it out, added Minato. Hey, whose side are you on, anyway? Naruto demanded. I wasn't aware that there were sides, Minato told his son. Of course there are. Kankuro uses puppets, Naruto stage whispered. Ah yes, Minato nodded understandingly. I see. Is it a bad thing to use puppets in Konoha? Beiki inquired. Not really, Minato responded. He just has severe puppet issues. I'm not sure why, but it's kind of a long-standing thing. The two adults quickly drifted into their own conversation about the exams that the people actually taking them couldn't care less about. So Gaara, do you think we'll need to have prelims? Sakura asked, trying to draw the silent boy into the conversation. It doesn't matter if we do, I'll take down anyone in my way, Gaara answered her seriously. Can you try not to kill any of my other friends? Naruto asked. I like them. Aren't you friends with half of the people still in the exam? Temari asked. No, Naruto replied easily. Just you, Gaara, Sakura, Sasuke, Kiba, Hinata, Shino, Ino, Shikamaru, Koji, Niji, Lee, and Tenten. Anyone else, I really don't care. A list would be helpful, Gaara informed him. I'll get right on that, Naruto proclaimed. So I don't make the cut, Kankuro demanded. You see me just as much as you see my siblings. Yeah, but, puppets, Naruto said simply. Don't worry, Kankuro, you can be my friend, Sakura assured him, and possibly Sasuke's. Although he usually likes to pretend he doesn't like people who aren't either on his team or live with him. So I heard Orochimaru showed up at the exams. Rin decided to bring up what they were all thinking about anyway. It's a good thing he didn't get away, but I hope he regains consciousness soon so we can find out what he's up to. I can't believe he has the nerve to come back here, Obito practically growled. First he betrays Konoha, then he kills almost my entire family, and now he's coming after Sasuke. And I'm still not over what he did to me, Anko added. I just wish I could remember why he abandoned me. Maybe he didn't, Kakashi suggested. Maybe you left him. Maybe, Anko said dismissively. I was pretty young though, so I kind of doubt I would have been strong enough. You've always been strong enough, Kakashi said loyally. Have you talked to Itachi or Sasuke about Orochimaru yet? Rin asked her husband. Obito shook his head. No. Sasuke's traumatized enough and he has to deal with Orochimaru trying to steal his body, and Itachi not only has to worry about Sasuke but he was actually there when everyone died, so I'm really not sure what there is to say. Sometimes there isn't anything to say, Rin replied. There was a contemplative silence which Anko broke with a, so did you hear about Sasuke's note after he somehow managed to incapacitate Orochimaru? It read like it was an acceptance speech. Obito snorted. Given what a huge feat that was, everyone's hatred of Orochimaru, and the blatant favoritism we've been receiving since the massacre, I wouldn't be surprised if he did win some kind of award for this. Although heaven help him if Sakura finds out that he called her useless again in it. Kakashi shook his head. Is she really useless, though? Rin asked curiously. Because I've seen her around at the hospital and she seemed to know what she was doing. I wouldn't have dealt with all those protests about how I can't stack the team if she was, Kakashi answered. Although given her test scores, I still would have gotten them. Then why does Sasuke keep saying that? Anko asked. Probably the same reason he keeps calling Naruto an idiot, to piss his teammates off, Obito guessed. And then there's that, Kakashi acknowledged. Mostly I think it's just that since he's one of FO3 of the only people around with the Sharingan since the massacre and Naruto's the Hokage's son, Sakura's civilian background makes her stand out as the normal one on the team. You were going to say 4 people with the Sharingan, weren't you? Obito said knowingly. No, Kakashi cursed his slip-up. He really had no reason for knowing about Madara. Danzo's dead, though, so we really don't have to worry about him, Obito told him. He made a face. I still can't believe he would have taken one of Shisui's eyes like that. Wasn't it enough that the poor kid drowned himself? Kunao dodged. Don't you have any other friends you could hang out with? Inyazuka Hana demanded. With such late notice, that would be rude, Kiba said virtuously. And we can't have that. You know what else is rude? Hana asked rhetorically. Crashing your siblings' date. And that goes for both of you. This is my house, Sasuke pointed out. And I would have just gone over to Naruto's like apparently everyone else was doing, but Naruto specifically made sure to tell me I wasn't invited and I should spend time with family despite the fact he's letting Sakura tag along. We may as well make the best of it, Itachi said calmly. And we can hear how they did in the first 2 exams. What are you even doing out of the forest so early? I had heard that you can't leave until the 5th day, Hana remarked. You only need to stay until you pass, Kiba said simply. And we did. Already, Hana sounding shocked. Impressed, Kiba asked smugly. To be honest, I'm amazed you passed at all. Hana admitted. That makes 2 of us, Sasuke muttered. They just ended up literally stumbling onto a scroll. Well, if someone is going to be so careless as to leave one lying among a bunch of dismembered corpses, I don't see why we should take advantage of it, Kiba said heatedly. And what do you mean you're amazed we passed? Don't you have any faith in your own brother? She means that it is surprising because you graduated from the academy so very recently, Itachi interceded before an argument could break out. Usually Jounin wait at least a year to enter their students as Guy did. It's been 5 years since rookies like yourselves have entered the exam and those that do never make it this far. So maybe we're just amazing, Kiba suggested. Hana snorted. Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly it. Kiba chose to ignore his sister's sarcastic tone and instead turned to Sasuke. It's a good thing you guys finished as quickly as you did. Why's that? Sasuke asked cautiously. Because otherwise poor Sakura would have been stuck between you, Naruto, and your unresolved sexual tension, he smirked. Sasuke wondered how much Itachi and his girlfriend would complain if he were to just stab Kiba right there. Kiba, Hana scolded. There's no need to be so rude. Rude? Try honest. You haven't seen them together. And from what Sakura told me about the conversations they had during the exam, Kiba shook his head. Sasuke realized that perhaps Sakura was more serious about not being called useless than he thought. Although I suppose having to deal with 2 people who are so obviously in love is less awful than having to face down that snake guy, Kiba noted. Sasuke noticed Itachi stiffen slightly, but the 2 Inyazuka didn't. Yes, facing down an S-class criminal is a bit more than should reasonably be expected from us in Chuunin exams. I'm kind of surprised you didn't kill him once you had him at your mercy, actually, Kiba confessed. It didn't occur to me, Sasuke lied. I mean, as much as I hate him and want him dead, I'm only 12 and I want to put off my first kill until after I become a Chuunin at the very least. Besides, this way Konoha can see why he was here or if it was just for me. And he said it all with a straight face, too. Did you confront him about what happened? Hana, subscribe to Infinite Novel for more adventures. Chapter 13 Disclaimer, I do not own Naruto. Alright, I have half an hour before I need to be there for the end of the second part of the exam, Minato announced. Orochimaru had woken up sometime during the night and Minato wanted to be there for the pre-torture interrogation. So did Obito and Itachi, actually, but Minato was too concerned that Orochimaru might say something about how the massacre wasn't his doing and the last thing any of the Uchiha needed was to have the truth become a family secret. As Minato claimed that Obito had too much personal interest in the matter in order to exclude him, Itachi could not be in attendance either. Kakashi, however, decided to tag along. Ostensibly, it was because he could but really he wanted to see if the confrontation in the forest had raised the Snake Sun in suspicious or if he had any real idea about what happened the night of the massacre. Ibiki nodded. Understood. Even though Ibiki didn't know the truth, he had been in that line of work far too long to ask any questions should the subject come up. He opened the door to the containment room holding Orochimaru. Greetings, he said pleasantly. My name is Ibiki and I'll be your interrogator for today. I would advise you to cooperate as this part doesn't have to be painful. Orochimaru simply glared at him. Minato, you're looking well. I wish I could say the same, but you've apparently sold your soul to a snake demon, Minato returned evenly. We'll start with a nice easy question and work our way up from there. Ibiki informed his prisoner. What is your name? What's my name? Orochimaru repeated. If you didn't know that, then why in the world did you arrest me? Do you think I'm an imposter? If I were going to disguise myself, why would I choose the appearance of someone liable to get arrested if not outright killed in Konoha? What is your name? Ibiki asked again. Orochimaru sighed. There really was little point antagonizing them on the basics. Orochimaru, how old are you? Ibiki asked. Orochimaru snorted. Why don't you go try and ask Tsunade that question? I'm sure you could provide us with your age just as well as she can. Ibiki countered calmly. How old are you? 51, Orochimaru replied. Why are you a missing nin? Ibiki asked. Because Sarutobi-sensei was an old fool, Minato is a young fool, and I wouldn't touch a cursed necklace, Orochimaru answered promptly. Mark that down as I didn't become Hokage. The Yondaime had a problem with me experimenting on the people of Konoha, and I wouldn't touch a cursed necklace, Kakashi advised. Why did you come back? Ibiki continued. I was feeling nostalgic, Orochimaru claimed. Nostalgic, Ibiki repeated. For what? The scenery? Attacking pubescent boys. The Forest of Death was always a favorite training ground for me and my snakes, Orochimaru insisted. And when I heard there was an exam going on, I decided to join in. Is that so wrong? You killed 3 genin and could very well have started an international incident, Minato pointed out. Not to mention the paperwork. It really is a good thing they signed those waivers, or I'd still be busy with that. I killed them before they signed the waivers, Orochimaru responded. That never leaves this room, Minato said warningly. Why did you go after Uchiha Sasuke? Ibiki asked. Well, since I was in the exam anyway, I decided to go all out. It was simply luck that led me to Sasuke-kun's team, Orochimaru said. Sakura's right, that does make him sound like a pedophile, Kakashi murmured. You are on record as saying you would be back to try and steal one of the remaining Uchiha's bodies. Now you're back and went after one of the Uchiha, Ibiki remarked. Well, the other 2 would be Jounin, yes, Orochimaru asked rhetorically. So I suppose the smart thing to do would be to go after the youngest and most malleable. Sasuke's only malleable if you're offering him a new person to seek vengeance on, Kakashi added his 2 cents. And what's this about me being on record saying that? Orochimaru demanded. To the best of my knowledge I've never made any such claim. Well, I did when talking to Sasuke-kun a few days ago but not before that. You did, Ibiki answered. The night of the massacre. Orochimaru's eye twitched. For the love of God, how many times do I have to tell you people that I am innocent? It might be a little more convincing if you weren't so unrepentantly evil, Kakashi confided. Be that as it may, we are not here to talk about the massacre, Minato spoke up. Ibiki, I do not want anything he says on that subject to make it to the records. Yes, Hokage-sama, Ibiki agreed. And why's that? Orochimaru sneered. Want to protect your precious student and your son's teammate from the knowledge that Itachi killed them. You wish to deny the involvement you so proudly proclaimed just 4 years ago in order to pin the blame on one of the few survivors, Minato asked, his tone impassive. No, I do not want such a thing to reach their ears because it would only be claimed by someone with a malicious intent like you. Ibiki, let me know if he says anything else. Where's Kakashi? Sakura asked. Late, Sasuke replied shortly. Is that really so surprising? It shouldn't be, Sakura said, but he's actually been on time to all of the official things and I think I might actually be getting used to it. Not by choice he hasn't, Naruto grinned. That's what he gets for having people in his life, though. Besides us and Guy, of course. We had our own issues and Guy was too easily sidetracked by rock-paper-scissors competitions Kakashi didn't even need to look up for. You know, Sakura said slowly. It just occurred to me how lucky we are that Kakashi didn't get Shikamaru as a genin. The 3 took a moment to silently contemplate the horrors of having quite possibly the laziest person ever, particularly before Asuma's death, and Kakashi of all people paired together. So you were asking about Kakashi, Naruto said finally. He and my dad are witnessing the beginning of Ibiki's interrogation. They always ask a few questions before they do anything to see how cooperative the victim's going to be. My dad's there because it's a threat to village security and Kakashi went to make sure that Snake Pedophile doesn't know anything. Aside from the fact that we claim that Jiraiya, or, more specifically, Naruto's godfather, who we all know as Jiraiya, was dead, I don't think we gave anything away, Sakura said slowly. The fact that Sasuke has a Mangekyo Sharingan isn't common knowledge, but it's not exactly a secret either. You know, Sasuke felt the need to point out, if you had just let me kill him like I wanted to, we wouldn't have to worry about this. Sasuke, if we let you kill everyone you wanted to, you would be classified as a natural disaster, Naruto said flatly. I'm not that bad, Sasuke argued. Sakura, Naruto asked. Outvoted, Sakura informed Sasuke. I hate you both, Sasuke informed them seriously. So we've heard, Naruto said airily. Besides, you've seen how shocked everyone is that you just managed to put Orochimaru in a position to be captured, Sakura reminded him. Imagine how they'd react if you managed to kill him. We simply do not need that kind of scrutiny. No one would have to know it was me, Sasuke said. I'm pretty sure the Yamanakas have some kind of jutsu that works posthumously, Sakura countered. Well, if I destroyed the brain then that wouldn't be a problem, Sasuke insisted. Yeah, but then everyone would start freaking out because there was an S-class missing and gate crashing and some other mysterious and possibly nefarious vigilante on the prowl, Naruto replied. And then they could very well cancel the exam, or at the very least make us drop out. And do you remember what Kakashi said about if we don't pass this exam? Sasuke couldn't suppress a shiver. Yes. I agreed to let him live for now, didn't I? I never thought I'd see the day when something was more important to Sasuke than revenge, Sakura said, shaking her head in awe. Even if that something is avoiding Guy's training, I think he's making progress. I don't know, Naruto said. He already killed the Unholy Alliance in this timeline and everyone else who he wanted revenge on in the previous one. The fact he's already gotten vengeance could explain why he's more patient about getting it again. Sasuke decided to ignore them as a bedraggled Ino chose that moment to jump on his back. Sasuke-kun, I'm so glad you passed. Ino beamed at him. Not that I had any doubt, of course. I'm so glad to be out of that forest after 5 days. I honestly can't believe I survived 5 days with Shikamaru and Koji. Honestly, those two would be lost without me. Ino, if you haven't bathed in 5 days, kindly get off of me, Sasuke told her, removing her arms from their stranglehold around his neck. Ha! You mean you have? Ino blinked, surprised. But how? It comes from being incredibly awesome and finishing the exam in 6 hours, that's how, Kiba declared, walking up to them leisurely. Or by being Sasuke. Hey, your brother doesn't talk much, does he? You don't think much, do you? Sasuke countered. Sakura, I am so very happy to see that you have made it past the second round, Lee said cheerfully, clasping her hand. Now we are one step closer to the path of Chuyunin and true love. I said I'd think about it, Sakura corrected, and only after we're friends first. How youthful, Lee exclaimed. And Sasuke, I will fight you in the finals. Eyeing Niji, Sasuke responded monotonously, if it is fated. Lee and Tenten both immediately shot looks at their teammate, but he paid the comment no mind. Hey, Gaara, Tamari, over here, Naruto called. The Sand siblings made their way over to where the Rookie 9 and Guy's team were waiting. These guys are great, Naruto vouched for the team from Suna. Even the evil soulless puppet wielder, Koji asked. Well, he's decent, Naruto admitted. Hello Naruto, Kankuro said pleasantly. I see you forget to greet me. Not to worry, I know that these things happen sometime. Sakura, Naruto asked dangerously. Yes, she asked innocently. Why is Kankuro smirking knowingly at me? Naruto inquired. Is he? I didn't notice, Sakura lied. I know there's no way he would have figured it out so soon. Sasuke doesn't actually care enough to fill him in, and I don't think he's even met Kakashi. Did you tell him? Naruto demanded. Sakura winced. Maybe, Sakura, Naruto yelled. What? I was only trying to help, Sakura insisted. You know, so we can speed up the healing. I hate seeing them like this. Naruto huffed. Oh, whatever. God, you're not going to apologize to Kabuto for that fire incident next, are you? Oh, God no, Sakura said, sounding shocked. I have limits, you know. So you're the new guys, huh? Tenten asked. New guys, Tamari repeated. We're not new, just from Suna. Naruto seems to make it a point to collect friends, Tenten explained. People may try to resist, notably Niji, but in the end, it's inevitable. You'll either become his friend or die trying not to be. That's kind of morbid, Tamari noted. Only if you're one of the stubborn ones, Tenten replied, holding out her hand. I'm Tenten, by the way. Tamari introduced herself, taking the offered hand. Please don't take this the wrong way, but I think you may be the sanest person I've met here. I get that a lot, Tenten confessed. Hello everyone. My name is Uchiha Obito and I am the proctor for the third exam. As the time limit has officially passed, so the 21 of you that are here have technically passed the second exam, Obito announced. What do you mean technically? Shino asked. 10.5 matches would go on for far too long, so we're going to have preliminary matches, Obito explained. What? That's not fair, Kiba protested. Yeah, we made it through the second stage, we should get to go to the third stage, Ino agreed. The second exam is not over until we say it's over, Obito said sternly. And if you guys are seriously going to complain this much every time you hear something you don't like, you're not ready to be Chuyunin. Wisely, everyone else decided to withhold their objections. Great, now since we have an odd number of people, that would mean that either one person would have to fight themselves, Obito informed them. And while this isn't always easy for most people nor for the judges trying to determine if the person won or lost, I've seen it done. Couldn't the odd man out just get a bite? Kabuto asked sensibly. There are no free rides, Obito declared. You want a promotion, you have to earn it. That said, would anybody like to choose this time to quit? Preferably 1, 3, or even 5 of you. There's always the possibility the person fighting themselves may win and we'd be stuck with an odd number for the third exam. While that can also be done, it doesn't reflect well on your mental health and we do have some minimum sanity requirements that must be met for promotion. I can see why that might cause problems, Kabuto nodded sagely. Well, I'm out then. Hey Kabuto, you know how this is, like, your 7th time taking the exam? Naruto asked. Better than you, yes, Kabuto replied. I have a theory as to why that is. You give up at the very first opportunity. Naruto cried. I do not. Kabuto defended himself. The first opportunity was before the 10th question. You tried to give up when Anko showed up, though, Sasuke noted. Can you blame me? Kabuto demanded. Hey, you're not even the one she molested, Kiba called out. You're still not over that, Sakura asked. It was traumatic, Kiba claimed. And troublesome, Shikamaru contributed. I'm starting to think we could just replace you with a button that says troublesome when you press it, Temari told him. If it wouldn't be so troublesome to look into that, I probably would. Chapter 14 disclaimer, lamest match ever note, and yes, the list Gaara was referring to in the last chapter is the list of people Naruto would really like him not to kill in the exams. Would Temari and Ino please stay here while everyone else gets out of the way of the battle? Obito requested. Ino is so going down it's not even funny just how badly she is going to lose, Naruto commented as Team 7 went off to a semi-isolated spot so they could converse freely about the matches. You don't know that, Sakura argued. After all, I'm the only person on record to have defeated her mind switch jutsu and I don't think Temari has a borderline split personality like I did. Yeah, but last time Ino tied with you and you didn't really know anything you weren't taught in the academy while Temari beat Tenten, who was no pushover herself and was trained by Guy of all people, Sasuke pointed out. Hey, Sakura protested. I wasn't that bad. Yeah, you kind of were, Naruto told her. But don't worry, I was the same way and we both don't suck now. Temari was probably the worst opponent save Gaara for Tenten given she uses projectile weapons and Temari has her fan, Sakura informed them. Although if Ino can't find a way to immobilize Temari the mind switch jutsu will never work. Naruto laughed. Gaara's probably the worst opponent for anyone. Poor Zaku. Whatever happened to him originally? He didn't face Gaara because Lee did so I don't think anyone actually died during prelims. Didn't Orochimaru sacrifice him and that sound girl to bring back the first and second Hokage to harass the third with? Sakura asked. Sasuke shrugged. I think so. A lot of Orochimaru's jutsus involved human sacrifices. Meanwhile, Ino and Temari were staring each other down. I have to win to show Sasuke-kun what I made of, Ino declared boldly. Temari rolled her eyes. A fangirl fighting for her idol, I see. With that attitude, there's simply no way I could ever allow you to beat me, even if you did have the skills. And why not? Ino challenged. Because that kind of thinking is embarrassing, Temari replied frankly. And more than that, it's disgraceful. If I manage to snap you out of it when I kick your ass, I'll be doing you a favor. Not appreciating being called a disgrace, Ino charged at Temari. The Suna Kunoichi just lifted her fan and sent a strong gust of wind to push Ino back. Surprised, Ino tried it again with similar results. The kunao she threw was sent hurtling back towards her and she had to duck in order to avoid getting hit. I can't get near her with that damn fan and I don't know how to get that from her, Ino said, trying to think of a plan. Her eyes lit up when one finally occurred to her. You know, you might be right, she admitted slowly. Maybe I haven't necessarily been the best example of a kunoichi. Temari snorted. You think? If you're this bad with your hormones now, I really don't want to see what you'll be like when you're older. Yes, you are a few years older than me, aren't you? Ino said thoughtfully. I suppose that explains your more mature approach. Me, I only graduated 4 months ago. I haven't even killed anyone yet and I do still tend to obsess over cute boys. Ino's eyes hardened. But that's all going to change. Sakura was just like me and even though she got put on a team with the 2 hottest guys in our class, she's really grown up and doesn't seem worried about getting a boyfriend at all anymore. I can't lose to her and I will not prove you right about me. With that, she took out a kunao and sliced her hair off at the ponytail. I am more than just a shallow little girl only concerned about her looks and popularity. With that, she tossed the hair she'd removed up in the air and watched it settle around the two of them. Temari stared incredulously at her. Did you just get a dramatic haircut? I approve of the sentiment to start acting like a real kunoichi but now is really not the time to have life-changing moments. We're in the middle of a fight here. Sort out your personal issues later. With that, she waved her fan and swept all of the discarded hair to the side of the arena. Ino's face fell. No, her plan to immobilize Temari by imbuing her hair with her chakra and then possessing her had just been literally swept away. Without further ado, Temari waved her fan again and trapped Ino in a cyclone. She let her spin around a little before letting her crash to the floor, hard. There was a crunching sound as she landed and Ino winced. Ah, my leg. Obito went over to check on the fallen girl. It looks like it's broken, he told her. Do you want to keep fighting or forfeit? I forfeit, Ino said quietly. Sorry little girl, maybe next time, Temari said coolly as she went to join her brothers up on one of the balconies. Harsh, Sakura commented, looking concerned for Ino. And rather embarrassing, too. What did you expect? Naruto asked. She made Tenten look incompetent and Ino's currently just the kind of kunoichi Temari can't stand. Do you think she meant it about taking things more seriously? Probably, given how well that went, Sakura decided. And since she threw me in there as an example of someone who has rapidly improved while she's largely the same girl that she was at the academy, if nothing else our rivalry should be enough to spur her on. Is it really fair to have a rivalry with a 12-year-old girl? Sasuke asked innocently. Look, it's not my fault my rival didn't come back in time with me, Sakura huffed. And what about Kakashi? He's still maintaining his rivalry with Guy. Yeah, but he really didn't get a choice in the matter, Naruto pointed out. Besides, he's Guy, he continued as if that explained everything. And it did, really. Age doesn't matter when one is so youthful. Seriously, don't say that word, Sasuke ordered. And what was up with that settle your personal issues after the fight? Fights are the perfect time to settle your issues, Naruto declared. That only happens to you and anyone who spends far too much time with you, Sakura explained. Next up is Sakura and Hinata, Obito announced after Ino had been taken to a medicnin to fix her leg. Given Tsunade had been running the hospital personally for the last 4 years, it wouldn't take long. Would both of you come down here? Hey, Sakura, Naruto said as Sakura made a move to head down to the arena. You know you're one of my best friends, right? Right. Sakura said, not sure where this was going. Well, Hinata is very important to me as well. I know that you're probably going to beat her, but if you make it anywhere near as humiliating as Neji did, I will not forgive you, Naruto said sternly. I won't, Sakura promised. I like Hinata. Good, Naruto smiled. And for the record, I'm rooting for Hinata. What? How come? Sakura demanded. Because she could use the confidence boost, Naruto replied easily. Besides, Sasuke can root for you. They both turned to look at Sasuke, who returned their stares impassively. He'll be rooting on the inside, Naruto claimed. Sakura just sighed and went down for her match. Yo, Kakashi said from behind them. How did it go? Sasuke asked immediately. What? No, hi Kakashi, good to see you. Kakashi, if it weren't for you I'd still be brooding because everyone was still pissed at me for abandoning them to run off with a pedophile and then after killing him ran off with another one, Kakashi. Kakashi asked, feigning hurt. Sasuke rolled his eyes. Just tell us if Orochimaru knew anything. He was pretty flippant in his answers, Kakashi confided. It was clear that he wasn't taking his status as prisoner seriously and was more annoyed about his capture and whatever delay it made in his plans than anything else. He did make sure to say he felt that your brother was responsible for the massacre, but that was probably more due to the fact that Itachi was there and even though everyone thinks otherwise Orochimaru was not that night. So it's a good thing Itachi and Obito weren't allowed to be there, Naruto said. How did Ibiki take that theory? As far as Ibiki is concerned, when Minato said that nothing about the massacre was to be included in the report, Orochimaru said nothing about the massacre, Kakashi explained. He's a professional like that. Kick her ass, Hinata, Naruto called down encouragingly. Hinata blushed a little and smiled back at him. Okay, don't end it too quickly but don't let her land a hit on me. Sakura murmured. Thanks, Naruto. Begin, Obito said. Since one of Sakura's areas of expertise, aside from medical jutsu and her natural talent with genjutsu that she never really used beyond dispelling, was taijutsu and gentle fist was the Hyuga clan's signature style, the battle naturally began with a taijutsu spar. If either one of them lands a good hit, it's over, Kakashi noted. But Sakura should have been able to get one through by now. Why is she holding back? Naruto didn't want Hinata to get crushed, Sasuke explained. She's a really nice girl and it's not her fault that Sakura has years more experience, Naruto defended. All I know is that if Sakura loses because of that she's going to kill you and if we have to deal with Guy every morning then I will, Sasuke warned him. She'll be fine, Naruto insisted. Sure enough, after nearly 10 minutes of non-stop attacking, both girls were quickly tiring and Sakura aimed a high kick at Hinata's head. When she brought her hands up to defend herself, Sakura channeled chakra into her fist and punched Hinata's chest. The Hyuga girl flew backwards and into the wall. After waiting for a minute to see if she would get up, Obito went over to check on her. She's out, he confirmed. Congratulations Sakura, Lee called down to her. Thanks, she replied, waving to him. For the record, Sakura said once she had made her way back to where the rest of the team was standing, I hate you, Naruto. Why? You did fine, Naruto assured her. I know, but that was far harder than it should have been. Hinata may still have insecurity issues, but she's not a pushover and I don't know if you've ever noticed how Hinata fights after you've just cheered her on, but it is not fun to be her opponent. Well, at least you weren't up against Neji, Naruto said, trying to be positive. True, Sakura agreed. But I should warn you now that should you have just jinxed it and I have to go up against him in the finals, I'm going to kill you. What? How could that possibly be my fault? Naruto demanded. Because you would have jinxed it. Weren't you listening? Sakura demanded. Next up, Shino and Koji, Obito announced. Do I have to fight? Koji whined. You don't want to, Shino asked, possibly surprised. His glasses and coat obstructed his facial expression and his voice sounded impassive, but the mere fact he would ask indicated he did not expect this. No, Koji replied. I'm only here for the same reason Shikamaru is, and that is, Shino pressed. Because Ino is very troublesome when she doesn't get her way, Shikamaru supplied helpfully. I see, Shino said. You can't forfeit, Koji, you already had a chance to, Asuma pointed out. Besides, do you really want poor Shino to have to fight himself? No, but Koji began. Besides, if you fight I'll take you out for barbecue and if you win I'll pay, Asuma promised. Deal, Koji said quickly. Let's go. Baika no Jutsu. Immediately, he swelled up. Nakuden Sensha. With that, he rolled himself into a ball and came at Shino. This is troublesome, Shino noted as he dodged Koji. Why does everybody always steal my catchphrase? Shikamaru wondered. Because it's awesome, Kiba replied easily. Just dodging is very much a letdown but until he leaves that form I can't block his chakra, Shino noted. He summoned the 2 bug clones of himself and watched as Koji rolled over them a few times before finally getting the picture that they would always reform. Reluctantly, Koji uncurled himself so he could determine which of the 3 Shinos was the real one. When that happened, Shino took the opportunity to send a swarm of bugs Koji's way. What's this? Koji cried. What are the bugs doing? Shino said nothing, waiting. A beat passed and Koji started swaying lightly. Within a minute or so, the boy had passed out. You know, Naruto said idly. Even though I think I could beat him, Shino still creeps me the hell out. Shino creeps everyone out, Sasuke pointed out. Except possibly Gaara. At least no one was seriously hurt in that match. Who's up next? Sakura wondered. The next match will be between Neji and Kankuro, Obito unwittingly answered her. As the two made their way to the arena, Sakura turned to Kakashi. Oh yeah, I can't believe I forgot to ask, what happened with Orochimaru? We already covered this, Sakura, Kakashi responded. Seriously, you should pay more attention. I was paying attention and you didn't mention him at all, Sakura protested. And if you were talking about it while I was fighting, then the only way I could have possibly heard you was if you were talking loudly enough for everyone to hear, and we can all agree that's a bad plan. Especially as I'm not even sure I'm supposed to mention anything about this to any of you, Kakashi added. I don't feel like going into it again though, so the gist of it is he's still claiming Itachi killed everyone because he doesn't know who else was there that night since he wasn't but doesn't actually know anything. Sakura nodded. Okay, thanks. Kankuro is so going down, Naruto said eagerly. I agree, Sasuke said. And it will probably be very amusing. You guys are horrible, Sakura reprimanded. Come on, Sakura-chan, he's a puppet user, Naruto reminded her. I thought you were over that, Sakura said. Naruto shuddered. After what happened with Sasori, I will never be over it. You are so melodramatic, Sasuke informed him. Naruto snorted. You're hardly one to talk. I didn't say I was, Sasuke countered. I'm just making Chapter 15 disclaimer, I do not own Naruto. Kankuro, are you sure we're related? Temari demanded. One Kankuro had regained consciousness. That was even more embarrassing than what I did to that fangirl. You called her a disgrace and broke her leg. Kankuro objected. But the fight lasted longer than half a minute, Temari pointed out. She has a point, Gaara spoke up. Kankuro turned to him. But your fights rarely last longer than half a minute, he pointed out, a little uncertainly. And if any of those people survived, I'm sure they would be quite embarrassed, Gaara replied before heading down to the arena for his match. I just disagreed with Gaara, and not only am I still alive, but I didn't even receive a death threat, Kankuro said, sounding a bit dazed. And you're not even on the list, Temari marveled. So what does Zuka do? Naruto wondered. I have no idea, Sakura replied. I don't think he made it past the preliminary matches. Sasuke? The resident expert on all things Otagakure shrugged. I don't remember him. I think Orochimaru had managed to sacrifice everyone he had entered in the exam before he left. Makes a habit of that, doesn't he? Kakashi asked rhetorically. It makes you wonder how he ever has any followers at all. Recruitment was actually never really a problem of his, from what I could tell, Sasuke said. He was a veritable Pied Piper, come to think of it. Sakura cocked her head contemplatively. Wasn't the actual Pied Piper some sort of pedophile? That is one theory, Kakashi agreed seriously. Orochimaru really would be one then, Naruto decided. Sasuke sent them all a withering glare. Oh, shut up. Seriously, Sasuke, these lack of denials are starting to scare me, Sakura said, sounding concerned. Whatever Sasuke was going to say next was cut off by the gasps from the people who were actually paying attention to Gaara's match. Turning their attention to the match, they noticed Gaara glaring at a smirking Zuko with sand littering the arena. I kind of get the feeling we missed something, Naruto noted. Hey, Kiba, what happened? Weren't you paying attention? Kiba called back. Not even slightly, Naruto answered honestly. Why is Zuko not only not dead but not even a quivering mess? Gaara sent his sand at Zuko and Zuko apparently used air pressure to knock it away from him, Kiba replied. Well, that was unexpected, Sakura said. Do you think Zuko has any chance of winning? Sasuke snorted. No. At most, Gaara will have to put some actual effort into this. Not much, but some. Does Gaara actually do anything but use sand and transform before Naruto used his therapy jutsu on him? Kakashi wondered aloud. Because he would have to take Zuko by surprise for the sand to work, and not only would people be calling for Gaara's disqualification if he released Chikaku, but if the invasion still on, then Gaara's secret weapon would be far less secret. He wasn't very effective anyway as he lost control and immediately took off for the forest, Sakura pointed out. If Naruto wasn't there and too stubborn to die, he would have just killed us and made his way back towards Konoha, Sasuke disagreed. And even if he wouldn't have been able to tell friend from foe, he didn't seem too concerned with that back then, and so that was a risk they were probably willing to take. I don't think Gaara cares about disqualification, Naruto said, but even if the Konoha 11 and Sasuke know about his Jinchuriki status, not everyone knows, so he'll probably try not to. Of course, if, God forbid, Zuko actually does manage to land a hit, well, there goes that plan. Down in the arena, Gaara had completely used up his gourd making 3 sand clones, so Zuko was surrounded on all sides. You're all out of sand, Zuko gloated foolishly. And even if you do have a couple of clones, I haven't seen you do anything that doesn't involve sand yet. Besides, I can stop you, he declared, waving his arms in emphasis. We shall see, Gaara replied shortly. He blinked and the 3 sand clones quickly dispersed in the sand, making them up headed straight for Zuko. Zuko held up his hands to face his left and right and shot off enough air pressure to beat back most of the sand. Unfortunately, he only had 2 hands and could not move quickly enough to stop the third wave of sand from completely enveloping him. Die, Gaara ordered before the sand crushed him. Well, that was certainly messy than any of our other fights, Obito noted. Anyone who has yet to fight should be warned to steer clear of the blood. It isn't very hygienic and is very slippery. Next up is Naruto versus Yoroi. Hey Gaara, great job, Naruto said as he passed Gaara on his way down to the floor for his match. Zuko's air pressure thing was completely unexpected, but you didn't let that slow you down. Of course, Gaara nodded. Good luck in your match. I don't need luck, Naruto insisted boldly. I have the threat of an entire year full of springtime of youth hanging over my head. And that is bad? Gaara questioned. Naruto shuddered. You have no idea. Once Naruto had made his way to his opponent, Yoroi said, this almost isn't even worth my time. You know, Naruto said thoughtfully. It's been quite a while since anyone said that to me. I don't actually remember when the last time was, although I think it was probably Sasuke who said it. I used to hear it all the time, though. It really brings back memories. Not good memories. You may be the Hokage's son, Yoroi acknowledged, but your lineage alone won't help you defeat me. You know, you're so sure that I can't beat you and I don't even know what it is that you do, Naruto confessed. You don't? Yoroi looked slightly annoyed. I can absorb chakra. Just by touching you, I can suck out your physical and spiritual energy. Do you really think you can beat me without letting me touch you? To his surprise, Naruto burst out laughing. That's your special ability? Really? Now Yoroi was really annoyed. Yes, really. Why? Oh, nothing, wow, I have a great matchup. If this were the finals I might be more concerned, but since I just need to beat you and don't have to worry about showing off, I might as well see if I can beat Kankuro for the title of lamest match ever, Naruto replied. Hey, Kankuro protested. The minute he drops the puppet thing he finds something else to start on me about. It's your own fault for not taking the match seriously, Temari chided. It was just the preliminaries, Kankuro told her. And now you're not in the finals, Temari responded. I had expected more from you, Naruto, but if you just want to stand there and let me absorb your chakra until you pass out, then I'm certainly not going to stop you, Yoroi declared, rolling up his sleeves. You can try, Naruto said, holding his arm out. Yoroi grabbed Naruto's arm and started absorbing his chakra. After 5 minutes or so had passed, Sasuke called down, you're not seriously just planning on letting him absorb your chakra until he passes out, are you? He is going to be the one passing out, not me, Yoroi corrected, but everyone ignored him. I kind of have to, Naruto informed him. It's the only way to make this match lamer than Kankuro's. Why are you trying to do that again? Sakura asked. Because he's an idiot, Sasuke said automatically. Because I can, Naruto said with a shrug. So basically what Sasuke said then, Kakashi concluded. You guys are the worst team ever. Naruto complained. We already established that a while ago, Kakashi pointed out. But surely we've gotten better? A little, Naruto grudgingly admitted. But that's really not saying much, all things considered. With a cough, Yoroi suddenly collapsed. So Yoroi passed out from what appears to be chakra overload, Obito announced. So it looks like the winner is, Hokage-sama. Do I really have to let him pass? He literally did nothing but stand there for 10 minutes. He's still standing while his opponent is unconscious, Minato pointed out. No one said the preliminary matches had to be epic. In fact, getting matches like these out of the way is the whole reason we have preliminaries. Fine, Obito sighed. The winner is Naruto. Did I at least manage to have a lamer match than Kankuro did? Naruto asked hopefully. Obito shook his head. Sadly, no. Why not? Poor Naruto sounded so disappointed. Because your match lasted 2,000 times longer than Kankuro's, Obito replied. The next match is Shikamaru versus Misumi. This is so troublesome, Shikamaru complained. Can't I just forfeit? Koji already asked me that question, Asuma pointed out. And if I didn't let him quit then I can't let you quit. It wouldn't do to show such blatant favoritism, now would it? I think he's still unconscious, Shikamaru replied. Come on, he'll never know. You know, you could forfeit anyway, Kankuro pointed out. Shikamaru yawned. Nah, too troublesome. How did someone as lazy as you make it as far as the preliminaries? Temari fumed. I bet next you're going to say that walking down the stairs to the match is too troublesome. Not that you mention it. Shikamaru began. This is for your own good, Temari interrupted as she shoved him off the balcony. Why is it that every time you say you're going to do something for someone's own good, it seems to lead to bodily harm to a member of my team? Asuma inquired. Temari shrugged. I'm from Suna, that's how we roll. So since we all know that Shikamaru is going to somehow manage to stall until he tricks Misumi into getting caught in his shadow, do you guys want to go get lunch? Naruto asked. Are we even allowed to leave? Sakura wondered. Kakashi shrugged. If Naruto leaves 3 clones and Henges 2 of them to look like you and Sasuke, you are. That's not being allowed to leave, that's tricking them into thinking we're still here. Sakura objected. Same thing, really, Kakashi said dismissively. It's all very well and good for you two, but my match is next, Sasuke told them. You could always stay here and talk to someone else, Naruto suggested. Sasuke thought about it for maybe half a second. Let's just hurry, shall we? We should probably head back soon, Naruto said after downing his 16th bowl of ramen. Why is that? Kakashi asked. My Sasuke clone just excused himself to go to the bathroom before his match, Naruto explained. Shikamaru won, by the way. So if Sasuke doesn't get back soon people are going to get the wrong idea, Kakashi concluded. The door suddenly slammed and Naruto glanced over to where his best rival was sitting not 10 seconds ago. Where's Sasuke? He took off running the minute you mentioned his match, Sakura replied. I don't think he even heard what Kakashi said. I suppose this means we should get back as well, Naruto said, clearly reluctant. As he laid his money on the table he called, Hey Ayam, if anyone asks, we were never here, alright? Whatever you say, Naruto, Ayam said absently. By the time the saner members of Team 7, not that was really much of an accomplishment, arrived back at the prelims, Tenten was busy hurling weapons at Sasuke, who was blatantly cheating by using the Sharingan to avoid them. Of course, when Naruto mentioned this aloud, Kakashi predictably responded with having a Kekii Genkai is not cheating, Naruto, and even if it were ninja. That's kind of the point. I'm just saying that being able to see someone's attack before they even use it and thus dodge it is so unfair. Not to mention that 3 days of whatever sick and twisted thing they can come up with, the very hard to stop fire, or getting possessed by that god, Naruto insisted. And using the Kyuubi isn't? Sakura asked. I don't use it every 5 seconds, Naruto shot back. In fact, I never use it if I can avoid it. So if Sasuke refrained from using the Sharingan unless he needed to, you'd be more okay with it? Kakashi asked. Naruto nodded vehemently. Exactly. Although one could always argue that your stamina, regeneration, and huge amount of chakra are thanks to the Kyuubi, Sakura said. Naruto pointedly ignored that. Katan Gokakyu no Jutsu. Sasuke said the minute there was a pause in the weapon throwing before blowing a huge fireball Tenten's way. When she jumped out of the way, Sasuke appeared behind her and kicked her into the wall. Wow, that attack was actually good for something for once, Obito marveled. I mean, it still didn't hit anything, but, anyway, winner Sasuke. The next match is between Kiba and Kin. Are you ready for this Akamaru? Kiba asked. Akamaru barked happily. That's not very nice, Akamaru, Kiba chided. Akamaru barked again. Yes, I know it's not a real village, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to come right out and say it, Kiba argued. You just did, Kin told him. What? Kiba looked up. Oh, sorry. Akamaru can be a little tactless sometimes. Whatever, Kin sighed. Here goes, she announced, throwing a senbon at him. When she did, a bell started to ring. Kiba froze. Oh, God no. Kin paused. Had he figured out what she was planning? Impossible, it had barely even started. I hate bells, Kiba grumbled. Are you going to do that the whole match? Kin nodded. Yes, is she allowed to do that? Kiba demanded. Obito shrugged. I don't see why not. It's either part of her attack or else she just really likes bells and there are no rules against bringing your own music. Well there should be, Kiba muttered. I've got to end this quickly before I get a migraine. Akamaru transformed into a Kiba clone and the two of them promptly began to pummel Kin. She did a decent job blocking the attacks, but there were two of them and one of her and she wasn't a taijutsu specialist like they were. Can you even move? Obito inquired after she lay on the ground for a solid minute. No, Kin admitted. Do you want to give up? Obito continued. No, Kin said, sounding horrified. Well, too bad. If you can't move you can't fight so the match goes to Kiba, Obito announced. Good, Kiba said. Does that mean we can stop with the bells, now? They were getting so annoying that I was finding it difficult to move towards the end. That was a side effect of her attack, Shikamaru helpfully corrected him. It was supposed to immobilize you if the match went on long enough. I knew that, Kiba insisted. Regardless of that, could we please stop the bells? Obito, subscribe to Infinite Novel for more adventures.